In a universe where life does not end at death, we explore the infinite possibilities forged by our very minds. Welcome to Arthadian Anthologies. Greetings, fellow travelers and storytellers. Welcome to a Reborn in Power series featuring the champion of Venus, Kinna. Follow along as you learn how she is captured and how she uses the power of the champion to break free from her chains. Kinna. You feel this vibration in your body as you hear the voices of Tyrax, Vagriis, and Zavon before you. The vibration continues to rupture through. It feels like your organs, but you still don't necessarily feel fully physical. Like you are still in your psyche. As your eyes open and you see them kind of hovering over you, feel the vibration is beginning to fade. And you see Tyrax is holding you. Kinna, are you alright? What do you do?
No, open my eyes.
Your eyes twitch for a moment and then open up. You see Tyrax is holding you. You see Vagriis is behind him. You can see that she's smiling at you. You see Zavon is kind of pacing back and forth in the background. You see him kind of like taking his talons and caressing his beak and walking back and forth. And then Tyrax looks back and is like, Zavon, relax, okay? She's awake. And he's like, you've been in there for some time, champion?
I'm not done yet.
Vagriis comes up. Not done.
There's one more layer.
One more, you say? So you must have come out for a reason. Tyrax looks down at you.
I wanted to try and prepare a little better.
What did you encounter in there? Tyrax asks.
A lot.
Vagriis steps forward. Last time when I went through this, it was almost like I was capturing different memories that had never actually happened to me. Like they were sending me to alternate versions of myself. You look at Terax. You can't help but remember the lair where you fought by his side and watched him get killed in front of you. And he's just looking at you and he's like, is something the matter?
I think he's right about the alternate versions of not just
She.
Sorry. Zevon?
That was Vagriis. That was.
I
speaking.
thought Zevon said
No,
that.
Zavon is over there, like, kind of pacing.
Okay. Oh, because you said he put his hand on his beak. Okay, I thought he was talking. I don't think it was just me as an alternate version. I think it was also you and whoever else I was encountering in there.
Vagriis looks over. It's like, you encountered Terax in there?
Yes.
Terax is like, how is that possible? And Savannah's like, what the heck?
Yeah, it was now, but different. We were still fighting Core Command, but...
Not Core Command.
I mean, not Core
You were a part of Core Command.
We were a part of Core Command still, but everything was different. Asla was there, but... And Muzo was there, too.
Terax looks at you and is like... And then you see he's curious but cautious as he looks over towards Vagriis, and Vagriis looks at him and is like, it could be possible that she sent you to a alternate version of yourself where Terax was never dead, never died. Was he the champion in that version?
He was, but I was with him on his team, but he did die.
I died.
Yeah. I got to see it again. Differently. You were protecting me and Asla.
Oh. And he leans back.
But you understood so much. I didn't have to tell you much before. You believed me right away. It's like you knew me, like, here, but not. It's like you knew you were already helping me somewhere else.
And then Zavana comes up and is like, was that when you were feeling weird? Before?
What?
Like you felt like there was something wrong? And Terax looks over and is like, yes, at a certain point, while you were inside there, I started getting a little anxious. I suppose you could describe it that way.
So you think you're, like, connected to that?
If anything, it is the champion's right. The connection that we all share with one another. I guess even between ourselves, from alternate versions of Venus's existence. And Vagriis is like, just goes to show how vast her wingspan is.
Do you think the other people that I encountered, like Asla and Musa, do you think that was their alternate selves that was with
Oh, most certainly, Vagriis says. That is most likely the case.
I think back to Moozer and I being together in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And just being like, it definitely seemed like that reality could have very well have been possible.
When you think back on this, are you having some kind of reaction to it? Is it like, are you trying to hide a reaction, or are you...
No, I wouldn't hide anything from them. I was just thinking back on it. Just pondering different versions of it.
Do you, based off of that, so was that the first one?
That was the beginning, yeah. Were you feeling that in the beginning? Time might be different, but...
No, not at the very beginning, but you were in there for, well, how long was it, Vagriis? And Vagriis looks down and is like, well, within this space, it was probably about 4 days or so, 4 rotations.
So how long is that in real life?
We are not sure how long you have been unconscious.
I mean, I was trapped for, I felt like, a really long time.
We are definitely not sure. Time is extremely relative here. You can meditate here for a long time if you'd wish. There have been champions like, well, Jaravin. I know Jaravin had meditated within his champion's domain for, I believe it was maybe like 50 cycles before.
Wow.
Champions end up expanding their lifespan through being able to access their champion's domain. But when they die, they come here, and then they help the next champion when they need it.
Do you think a champion's tether can be broken?
Terax looks over. I feel like in order for that to happen, someone would have to be powerful enough to destroy Venus, which I doubt. And Zavana's like, yeah, because the whole Champions network is only possible through Venus. And it expands not just on the nest, it is also throughout all the other worlds in which Cantor thrive. Vagriis is like, he's correct. This is how I became a champion. I was not born on the nest.
Well, when I was in there after you saved me, the second one was me being kidnapped, right? Yeah.
The second layer was the one
jail
where you were, yeah.
Yeah, the last one, yeah. I was trapped for a really long time, and it felt like some of the aspects could have been happening in the real world, but I was trapped there, and while I was there was this, did I know he thought he was a Redicon, right?
You could assume so. Please roll me what knowledges do you have?
Survival, will, strategy.
Strategy? Go ahead and roll me a strategy.
And analyze. 23.
23. 23, let me see if you get this. Okay. when you think about this, the second layer, you also remember in the first layer, the one that ended up killing Terax and nearly killing you before you were able to escape. They seem to be just about the same height as your master from the second layer.
I relay this to them. It seemed to be a between the two layers there's a common enemy. Maybe that has to do with how I'm got in this situation. Very large, presumably a reticon.
Reticon? And then you see Savannah's like, aren't Reticon the tree people? Not exactly tree people. And then Savannah's like, oh, sorry. It's like, they are born from trees, yes. So tree people. And Terax is like, they're shaman type, and they are warriors as well. But they aren't the types to, I'd say,
kill.
They like to hunt, mainly beasts. For sure.
Champions, apparently.
They don't tend to be very bright. They don't strategize very well unless a big group of them came together and did so. But
well, it was smart in both of my layers. He seemed like the commander of the first one, and in the second one he was definitely in charge.
What happened in it? If you don't mind me asking.
I was a prisoner in this foggy room. The only person I saw. I was on a chair. I think I was on a chair.
You were on a chair, yeah. You were basically bound to a chair.
Yes, and there was this technology glowing like a green technology that kept me bound.
It was more turquoise.
Turquoise. Yeah. But it was like if I tried to move or get out or meditate, it would stop me and hurt. At one point I tried to meditate to connect with you, Terax, but it stopped, and it felt like it was taking away the thread between us.
Terax looks at you with concern. So this is why you keep saying that there might be a way to break.
I had to create a path in my head so I wouldn't forget how to get back to you. I don't know if it worked though.
Vagriis is like, what if were you trying to connect with the Terax inside that timeline?
The one that I was with in that timeline?
Yes.
I hadn't seen that one yet.
Or were you the champion in that timeline?
I don't.
thinking back on it, you were...
He said I was.
Yes, he said that you were.
Yes, I was. So presumably that Terox would have already been...
Dead.
Do
Yes.
you think that could have been the same timeline, but later on?
No. Because you can't... Venus doesn't show future.
Oh. Well, that's not good.
That means that there's a potential chance that we now have you, champion, now have a lead to something that might, or someone that might be
the reason why I can't wake up?
potentially,
Or a
have
future threat, you mean?
have bigger implications, yes. We need to get you out of here. We need to figure out what's going on, because we cannot see what is going on unless we have your eyes. And all we remember was landing back onto the barricade.
After we rescued
A Quolite.
or stole a Colite.
Stole.
Stole. Borrowed. Do you know of any intelligent Redicons from your time that may have been able to become a commander? Who were maybe intelligent enough to pull that off? If I know the skin color of the person, I'll tell them to.
You don't know they were wearing
Armor the whole time.
the entire time.
Okay.
Completely masked up.
I will say
but
that.
they were massive. They were a massive person.
I will say that they always wore like heavy armor.
There were... in my time... Zavana's like, I don't know. And Terox is like, I don't know very much. All I know is that there are... Redicon tend to be more so enforcers. I could probably give a list of different enforcers throughout the Corps Command that are Redicon, but that is all I really encountered of Redicon. And they tend to be just brutes that follow commands and don't, just follow whatever commands that they are given. At least that is the extent of which I have encountered. Vagriis is like, well, let's put a pin in this Redicon theory.
Wait, I want to explain more about what happened when I was in there with the materials that I was telling you about.
Material?
At one point, I was trying to escape, and I said I was bored, and Master, is what he told me to call him, wanted me to fight and slay a Agrilok for game and for food. And I did, but the weapon that they gave me let me form it into any weapon that I wanted. And then after it became handcuffs again. It's not anything I've ever seen before. Have you come across any kind of
It is a weapon?
durable material? Not
What kind of material was it?
like stone? Is that kind of what it... Like, no.
It was metal.
Metal. Like metal. And it formed to whatever shape I was thinking of.
It also had a name.
Yeah, it did have a name. Its name was Zine.
It had a name?
Yes, it was like sentient. That's probably bad.
Zevon.
Oh, no, that's good. That's good.
And Zevon says, it's like, wait, did you say sentient?
Mm-hmm.
Sentient metal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've heard of that before. Yes, I've heard about that before. And Terox is like,
Did I get the name? I wrote Ritanium, but I don't know if I ever got that. Or if I just wrote it because I knew it already.
you probably wrote it because you knew it already. I'm not sure, but or I just said it, but I didn't. I said it as like a description. But Zevon like starts pacing around back and forth, and Tirax looks back. Is like, what is it? You know what it is? Yes, I think so. It was in one of my travels. Long ago. Obviously. And Vagriis is like, what is it, Savan? Come on, spit it out. What are you thinking? I'm trying to remember, but I recall a period of time where I myself went to, well, there was this big thing going on. It was like a full-on battle war or something like that. And there was just so many things going on. I think it was around the time that I died, actually.
So we should talk to the champion right before you? Would that help?
No, because when I died, it was like around the time where this reset happened.
Right.
And a lot of things got messed up.
What do you remember?
What I remember is that it was something about this sentient metal. Going to a massive asteroid field or some kind. I just forget where it was at. But I remember there was a rogue group or some kind of and you see he's like, I can't remember. It's really difficult. And Terax is like, were you affected by fragmentation when this happened? I died before the reset. I lived back then. Come on, is your champion around, Terax? He's like, come on. I barely even remember the champion after me. And Terax is like, I don't know if he would respond. Kinna would have to try to contact him.
Would he know about this?
And
Metal?
Zevon looks up and is like, he was the champion after me which was a champion
before him.
right after the reset occurred. I couldn't guide him as much as I would have liked to because of the things that happened to me. I lost everything, even as a champion. Venus, I remember, she was trying to help me and him. In fact, it took a while for a new champion to arise. It's just, when that happened, the reset happened, the realms were weakened. This sentient metal, it has something to do with it, with everything. And you see Zavon pacing back and forth. I feel like it is a key to something. I can't explain it.
A good key or a bad key?
I don't know. And he looks back at you. And Vagriis is like, probably a bad key if we're talking about it in this context. It's like, there was a squadron, a rogue squadron. We were out. And he looks down and is like, was it a rogue squadron? No. It was a fleet. There was a fleet. I remember that. A massive fleet. And they were sent out. I was sent out. Well, not necessarily sent out. I followed a hunch of mine. Same way that you followed your hunches, Terax. And Terax is like, go on, come on. Try to get through it. I can't. I only have fragments. Vagriis looks down at you. Having a Nugonian would be very helpful right now. You don't say, huh? Terax looks at you and is like, should we have Kinna call? And you see Terax looks down, and you can tell that he's uncomfortable. What do you do? As you see, all of them are just kind of like in their heads at this point.
Maybe I'll just try meditating and trying to see if that tether is there to the other Terax.
To the other Terax?
I guess the one that I can't do the ones that died already. Was I when I was doing it, did I say I was meditating to that one in that place, or
you were meditating to Terax? You were trying to contact Terax, so
yeah.
Whichever Terax was around.
Maybe we put a pin in the sentient metal. How else can I prepare?
Vagriis looks at you.
Because he's going to probably be there again.
You see Terax looks at you. And then looks over at Vagriis and looks over at Zavon. Perhaps it's time for you to connect yourself to your domain. And Vagriis is like, do you think that she is ready for that? Terax is like, if she cannot handle it, then how do you expect her to even be able to handle whatever is in the next layer? And Zavon says, a champion as young as her to truly connect to her domain, it takes decades. You know how long it took you, right, Terax? Yes, I understand that, but connecting in this way will probably get her closer to Venus, and in turn to us as the champions, so that if she ever does need us, she can get past whatever is blocking her. And Vagriis is like, what is your mind telling you, Kinna? Do you believe that you can fully encompass a region of your own conscience, so vast that it takes up a lot of your energy? And Terax looks at you. You don't have to answer that. The thing is, when it comes to us champions, our domain, and you see, he kind of motions out, it is our life force. We are in Vagriis's right now. Vagriis is like, yes, we were in yours before, but just because we were in yours, the only reason we're in it is because you are in your psyche. Once you fully envelop your domain, then you gain access to all of the champions. You can contact us, obviously, or any other of the champions right now.
Even though I've only seen Terax like twice.
What are you talking about? Well, you've seen me several times now.
A couple times.
It's just more like, this will allow you to call upon any champion. Even the champions before the core. Would this be something that you might want to try?
I can try it. When you say that it will take a lot of energy, do you mean energy here or when I'm out there?
Both.
And am I physically living, or I'm just going into my head?
You're already in your head. And Zavon comes up and is like, basically, it takes up so much energy that there have been some champions who have basically lost their lives to it. You could call them the champions that were they became champions. They were doing the thing, and then when they finally felt that they were good enough to do it, they attempted it and then went too far, and then
How many times has that happened?
Vagriis is like, well, based off of the amount of champions, probably a few hundred times.
Any
It
of
is
the
a
ones you guys trained?
We trained for, well, I trained for.
No, I mean any of the ones that you trained. Did that happen too?
Vagriis is like, oh no.
Okay.
And
Do I get to see them or no? Because they're still champions, right? They're still connected.
Zavon is like, that's a good idea. Maybe we can contact one of them. Do you want to contact one of them?
What, and ask them how they failed?
That could be smart. Vagriis is like, knowing how someone failed in doing something like that. Honestly, this is more like
But knowing how you guys succeeded might be.
how we succeeded was through rigorous training as champions. If you don't feel like it is, you could try it, and then if you're unable to, you could pull away from it and not do a full thing. It's more like training your mind, I suppose.
Okay.
Vagriis is like, that is a good idea. She could start the process, but not go for the full way. It's more, she'd be tired though. This might take up a lot of her time. And Savannah's like, well, I mean, she's already here anyways. If she wants to train before going to the last layer, then this is probably the best way to train. I do agree with that. But it's up to you, Kinna. Do you want to go to the last layer now? After you've talked to us and kind of explained to us what has happened? Or do you want to go through with this kind of training exercise that could take a lot of out of you and would require you to rest before you go back in? But it might give you the confidence you need. It is up to you, Kinna.
I think I want to do it, but I worry that I've already spent so much time in here that it might just be worse the longer I am in here. The longer that I am in here, it might be worse, but I think it would be worth doing.
Tyrax. It's like, well, we will never know truly how long we have been, or you have been unconscious until you do wake up.
No, by now you would think they would have found me if it's been a long time.
Perhaps they have already found you. You're just in a coma.
I guess that is possible.
Vagriis is like, so are we heading back to your domain then?
Yeah, was mine the one with the waterfall, or was hers?
That's hers.
Okay. Yes.
Very well. Let us go then. Let me go here. As you see, Tyrax, Savon, and Vagriis all spread their wings, begin to fly upward. Are you gonna follow them? you spread your wings and since you have your little hummingbird wings, flapping and flipping as you begin to fly up and begin to fly up to one of those wind tunnels that begins to tunnel you through. I'd like you to roll me a piloting check.
Okay. Uh, 22.
22. You're able to follow them quickly as you're diving through, spinning around through this tube until you reach a portal, and then you see them all stop as they let you pass them, and then you fly through the portal, and they come right after you, and it shifts as the wind. You feel yourself flying down towards the trees beneath you. It feels calming as you fly down. You see Vagriis looks over at you. He's like, "Alright, Kinna. I think the best place for us to go is to go to the heart of your domain. Follow your heart, I suppose." How would you like to proceed?
I will. Are we just like we're just standing there?
You're flying. You're kind of like above the trees right now, kind of hovering there.
I will fly down.
All right.
Towards. I'm literally just going to be describing what it is, right? Okay. Probably something that looks to a building, probably similar to where I lived, and grew up, and probably fly towards the buildings, and then I guess it'd be modeled after
the dome.
Yeah, the dome with
Okay.
Muzo.
You go to the trees as you fly in that direction towards the domes that are built into the trees. And you see Terax and Zavan go and perch up onto one of the branches of the tree as Vagriis goes to another branch and kind of perches up as you go and land at the dome area. As you are there, what are you doing?
I'm like supposed to be building my.
You're.
Kind of.
I mean, you're not entirely sure. They said that you have to encompass your domain, but they're perched up on like separate branches right now, watching you.
Okay, then maybe I'll meditate.
Okay, you're just gonna meditate, or can't think of anything right now. Do you want to ask them a question? They're already there.
Like so what do I do exactly?
Vagriis is like, you want to feel the entire space that you're in. You want to try to take it all in to a point where it is a part of you. And Terax is like, it can be daunting. So, go at it slowly. Be patient with yourself. Don't try to rush it, or else it will. Yeah, you know. Savannah's like, it will kill you, yes.
Okay. I will, I guess, like hover there.
Okay.
And start, like, building that corner of my mind slowly.
Okay. As you do this, I'd like you to roll me a... How are you thinking about this? Like, in particular, like, are you building it like building blocks, or like are you trying to get inspiration from like the phoenixes, or like
Start with like just nature in general, like building the trees.
Okay, well then I would like you to roll me just a discipline roll check. You begin to hone in on your surroundings, the trees, the roots beneath the trees. You feel the network growing as you begin to build a foundation. As you build this foundation, take 8 points. 9 points to your energy. You feel it is working. You're expanding out. It's a small space. You feel like there's a vast region beyond this space that you just started building it into. It's like a little tiny small piece of this massive map.
Can I feel how big it could be without doing it, or no? Like, it just feels vast.
It feels vast and very... It feels like you don't know how you're going to be able to encompass it all. Just that little bit that you just did, it feels good, but it is nothing compared to what it could be.
Do I have to do the whole thing? Yeah, great. Okay.
You don't have to do the whole thing now.
Oh, yeah.
But in order to
keep going with like the nature and
okay,
stuff.
Go ahead and roll me another discipline check.
18. Oh no.
Oh no. Sorry guys, I'm like grabbing dice right now. You take 35 points to your energy. As you feel it begins to grow, and then you feel this shrinking sensation coming in as you... I would like you roll me one more discipline will check.
Mm, 22. I'm gonna stop it, try to stop it a little bit further than where I had grown it to.
You suddenly feel a storm cloud brewing above, and as you go to stop it, you feel the energy release, but the storm cloud continues to brew, and then you hear Kinna, are you all right? And you don't know how to stop whatever is happening right now. And Zivan, you hear, and hey, Kinna, are you good? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I can't stop it. How do I?
Do you ever play the Venus?
Yes. Can I try to meditate?
Meditate
to
or
her, to Venus?
Pray.
Or pray, I guess.
Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Okay. I should have increased that. 12.
12. You begin to pray to her. As you pray, you feel the storm begin to increase. As the wind begins to circle around the area, and you hear the thundering crackle above you. You hear Tarax yell out, it's like, Kinna, just focus on our voices. And you suddenly get this feeling like there is the storm that's brewing around you is a part of the energy that you released into your domain.
There's a lot of energy really fast.
Yeah, and then you also you feel like there is a heart of the storm in the eye of the storm, and that there might be a way to possibly control it or bring it back down.
I'm gonna fly into the heart of the storm.
You were gonna fly into the heart of the storm?
Well, I can, if I'm closer to it, it might be easier to control.
Alright, so you go and begin to fly. I'd like you to roll me another piloting check. As you fly overhead.
22.
22. You begin to fly up ahead, and you see bolts of lightning striking through this wind. You're able to dodge out of the way of these, maneuver out of the way of them, and then you get up to a point where it just becomes wind. And you see a circling portion of the clouds that have formed around, and you feel a connection to it all, like you can disperse it. How would you like to disperse it?
I'm gonna fly as close to the eye as I can, or in the eye.
Alright.
And I'm going to kind of just send calming energies through it, like peaceful vibes,
Okay, so
I guess. Peaceful vibes.
That would be another discipline will check.
Okay.
Peaceful vibes? You're going the peaceful route?
More so to overpower the Darkness.
Okay. It didn't feel like darkness, it felt more like a loss of control. But go ahead and roll me a discipline roll check to see if you can calm the storm.
Crit success.
Critical.
So that is yeah, 26.
26. You
Best I can do.
calm yourself as suddenly everything begins to quiet down. And as it quiets down, you return back down, landing back down, and you see Terex looks at you like, good work. Vagriis is like, very nice. And then Zavon like, probably would have been better if you didn't, call a storm.
I didn't do it on purpose.
How are you feeling? Energy-wise?
A little depleted. About.
Alright, well then I guess we should take a break. Do you feel like that was good enough? Do you feel like that was good enough of training, or do you feel like there's something that you're missing?
Yes.
Vagriis looks over, is like, there's definitely something that she's missing. I was like, I understand that. I was seeing if she could. Never mind. You see, and Vagriis like, sorry, I didn't realize. I forgot that this was more of teaching her. Yes. So the thing is that you have to take in every aspect of your being, who you are. You did really well with when the storm was summoned, and then you dispersed it through using your own, I suppose, will to calm it. The thing is, though, is that you're going to be facing more than just a storm. You need to be able to weather the storm. Right, exactly. You'll need to be able to face it head on and take the damage. Terex is like, we champions, we face darkness. First 2 layers were proof of it. We go up against great beings that some would call evil. We work alongside those who are respectable. Even some entities who are more powerful than us. Vagriis is like, you need to be able to fly with the titans of the core, the higher entities. You are a part of Venus's pantheon. You are a champion, Kinna. You need to encompass it all. And Tirax says, like, but be patient. Take your time. All of us have our moments. Right now is your training. Would you rather rest and then go through the layer, or rest and then do this once again once you are ready?
I think I should rest and try it one more time, and then rest and go through the layer.
Sounds good to us. Well then, let's rest, and then you go and take a rest. You rest for some time. How long do you rest for?
Oh, would I have to rest to gain all of that back? Long time, huh?
Yes. You would have to rest for about half a rotation.
Is that a mark?
Vagriis explains, like, a rotation in here is about... It's hard to really explain. Half a rotation would probably give you enough time. It could be less, actually. Could be like maybe a quarter of a rotation. But a single rotation is approximately around 2 weeks or 3 months outside.
That is a lot of time.
Yes.
So maybe we rest and then I go into the layers. 'Cause we already don't know how long I've been in here.
And Terax is like, yes.
Is there anything I can do to make myself fat gain, be more energetic faster?
Savannah's like, well, there are ways to do it. Like my cat over there, meowing because she wants food. Katie, we'll be done in a second. Don't worry.
Gosh,
she's so needy. But yeah. Zavon looks at you and it's like, it is kind of difficult to actually heal energy inside here. It's because it's your psyche. It also depends on what's going on outside. But remember that.
do you think I might be? I think from when I went from layer to layer, I got refilled, re-energized.
Tirax is like, oh.
So I might.
The phoenixes might be able to heal you. And Vagriis is like, I didn't think about that. But if you go in, you go into the next layer. Do you want to go in now?
Yes, I don't think we should wait I don't think we should wait 3 months. That is a long time.
She said 2 weeks
2
to
weeks.
3 months. It could be different. It depends. It really depends. We don't exactly know. And as you guys like begin to get ready to head out, Zavon it says like, honestly, sometimes it could be even more than 30 months.
Yeah, no.
And Terax looks over like, then I suppose we go back to Vagriis' domain. Vagriis is like, of course. Let us head out. You guys fly back to Vagriis' domain. And as you return back to the waterfall, in the pond, the lake. And they all look at you. They nod to you. And Terax says, do not worry, champion. You will all be here when you return. But hopefully, we can see through your eyes.
Yes. Do you think I'll wake up right away once I go through?
Vagriis is like, that is what happened with me, yes. You should be waking up wherever you are at. Hopefully it's in a safe place. And you go through.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say to Terax, you're going to have to show me that cool move next time
Oh,
when we're out of this.
which one? I got a few.
It was the one where he like spun up in the air, right?
Yeah, he did a full-on spinning thing, and his feathers flew out and like literally like stabbed people.
Yeah, your stabby feathers.
Oh, yes, I could definitely show you something.
Yes, I would like to learn that.
We'll get to it once you wake up.
Okay.
And you go through the waterfall. As you go through, you see the space surrounding you. The stars become motes of light and then fiery phoenixes. As one of them flies up to you and says, Kinna Chula, are you ready for your final letter?
Yes, I am.
And then suddenly you your eyes open. As you see before you what looks like a mote of light. Purple. Violet. It hovers there. In a dark space. As it hovers, you feel a vibration rumble through your body. And everything goes dark. And that's where we'll end the session. And then We will see what happens.
Right, did my energy go back?
Your energy is back, yes.
Cool.
And thank you all for listening to this Kinna Jalanth session. This champion session.
CP?
CP? You want some CP? Is that what you want? You get 18 CP.
Okay.
And yeah, thank you all for listening. I gotta go feed my cat now, but if death comes to you,
may you be
reborn in power. And credits. I thank you for listening to The Champion. I hope you enjoyed this entry and are keeping up with the anthology as a whole. Also, if you want to be reborn in yourself, you can subscribe as a chosen to access chosen creation and exclusive codex entries. Until next time, travelers, be safe, stay safe, and if death comes to you, may you be reborn in power.